Hey everyone, welcome back to another Explainer. Today we're diving into something that literally connects every single one of us, and that is our global waterways. We're going to explore the direct and honestly often completely invisible impacts of human activity on the rivers we all rely on. Essentially, we're tracking the ripple effect of the human footprint.
90%. Just let that sink in for a second. An estimated 90% of sewage in developing countries is discharged completely untreated straight into water bodies. It is a staggering reality check on exactly what our rivers are dealing with every single day.
Okay, so let's dive right into our roadmap. To understand these devastating consequences, we'll follow four main tributaries of human activity. First up, cities, sewage, and sickness. Then, industrial waste and toxic leaks. Third, the cost of modern farming. And finally, mining, deforestation, and acid.
All right, Part 1. Cities, Sewage, and Sickness.
Look, as global populations boom and rapid urbanization just accelerates, the sheer volume of domestic waste is completely overwhelming our water systems. Take Delhi, for example. The Yamuna River there receives a mind-boggling 200 million liters of sewage every single day. And across the globe in Rio de Janeiro, raw sewage drains right into surrounding waters, suffocating the local marine life. It's an immediate, visceral threat to these ecosystems.
Of course, rising living standards mean exponentially rising liquid and solid waste, things like paper and packaging. But actually, the invisible threat is kind of the most alarming part. Traces of everyday pharmaceuticals, literally, powerful anti-cancer drugs, medicines meant to heal us, are passing straight through sewage works, contaminating water supplies, and effectively making our rivers sick.
Moving on to Part 2. Industrial Waste and Toxic Leaks.
Shifting from domestic waste to heavy industry, factory effluents are fundamentally altering river chemistry. Over in the Pearl River Delta, heavy metals like lead and chromium are steadily dripping into the water. And this toxic supply chain directly links industrial water contamination to exceptionally high local cancer rates. It's devastating, really, leading to these areas being branded as cancer villages.
And it's not always a slow drip. Sometimes it is a sudden, massive catastrophe. Take the 2005 petrochemical plant explosion in Harbin, China. Toxic benzene spiked to 108 times the safety limit in a major river. Literally one localized incident unleashing long-lasting, massive devastation downstream. To really ground this in reality, consider this statistic. An estimated 1.5 million tons of oil spilled over 50 years, destroying local livelihoods and ecosystems. Relentless oil exploitation in places like the Niger Delta is just a brutal reminder of the actual cost of our energy demands on human survival.
Okay, Part 3. The cost of modern farming.
It's a bitter irony, really. The very processes we use to grow the food that sustains us actually end up choking our rivers. It happens through a process called eutrophication. When agrochemicals, like fertilizers, leach into delta regions like the Nile, they overfeed the water. This triggers these massive algal blooms that basically strip the river of oxygen, suffocating the fish below.
And the damage goes way beyond just crop chemicals, setting off just crazy chain reaction. Excessive irrigation salinizes the groundwater, which then degrades surface water quality. Throw in the heavy runoff of livestock manure in developing nations, and agriculture's footprint on overall river health becomes absolutely immense.
Finally, Part 4. Mining, deforestation, and acid. Physically extracting resources and altering the landscape sends toxic ripples really far downstream. Take the garimpeiros. These are small-scale, informal gold miners in Brazil. It's a crucial reminder that it isn't just massive multinational corporations causing harm, right? Informal, hyperlocal extraction poisons the well too.
And there's a direct mechanical chain reaction between cutting down trees and choking rivers. Once natural vegetation is removed for timber or farming, the earth loses its anchors. Without roots holding the soil, surface runoff and severe soil erosion just skyrocket. All that loose soil washes away, drastically raising the river's sediment content and turning clear waters permanently murky.
But this footprint also extends upward, right into the atmosphere with acid deposition. Burning fossil fuels in power plants or vehicles releases sulfur and nitrogen oxides that form acid rain. So this physically links the air pollution from our cities to the direct poisoning of aquatic ecosystems downstream, turning streams completely toxic to local life, like fish and crayfish.
So what does this all mean? Well, whether it's urban sprawl generating raw sewage, industries leaking chemicals,
agriculture sparking algae blooms, or resource extraction triggering toxic acid rain, every single facet of human advancement has a stark, undeniable consequence for marine life and human health. The river literally connects all of it.
Which leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question. With all 4 of these tributaries of human activity converging at once, what is the ultimate tipping point for the global survival of our river ecosystems? Definitely keep that in mind the next time you look at the water around you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.